How are you guys doing? This is Giovanni, and welcome back to Ancient Blood Alliance. Now, there's something that I want to discuss with you guys that I hope that people have an awareness about when it comes to dealing with people who have so much hatred towards you or who had projected so much of their trauma onto you or others. This is just something that you can consider just by understanding the situations through the eyes of God. Now, if you think about it, it's like literally no reason to hold on to so much hatred and anger for someone in a situation, which is not that easy for a lot of us to do. And there are people who may admit that there's just so much that they're holding on to someone based on what they've done to them in a situation or hurt them. And yes, there are serious things that others had done to you or I where you feel like you can't let go of anything that they've done that you have a hard time forgiving. Now, forgiving somebody takes a lot of practice. Now, believe me, I totally understand where someone may have done something terrible to you or your child, possibly, and it may be hard to understand that how can I forgive this person for what they've done? Something that could have been seriously terrible that may be trigger warning to even talk about. Now, I had read an article that there was a woman who came from the heart and literally forgive a man for killing her son. Now, at first, I didn't think it was a true story, but I realized it actually was a true story. This man was actually her next door neighbor and ended up killing her son. And, at that time, when I came across that article, was dealing with so much PTSD of scenarios where I'm thinking about stuff that I had experienced, and then there are scenarios where I didn't experience, but they were my subconscious mind was making me believe that I had experienced it. That I was reacting in a way of like an anger of things that didn't even happen. Which unfortunately, there are people who suffer from this. Um, in my opinion, approximately 75% of people's society suffers from this. Now, I know that it was a sign from God for me to come across the article and read it and understand that no matter what, you can't have that strength to actually forgive somebody based on what they have done to you or some or your loved one, especially your child that you had carried for 9 months and then raised and then was looking forward to have grandchildren and such. But it is like a very tough thing to do for most people. And obviously, can depend on the situation. Yes, I am totally acknowledging that. But like, do that strength of God, you can't do anything. And you're probably wondering, well, what's the point of forgiving? It's because it's for your inner peace, for you to grow and heal. Because when you're holding on to certain emotions and such, and they can affect you physically and can manifest into physical illnesses because that energetic it causes that energetic stagnation in your energy body, and then it affects your physical body, which turns into an illness and a disease. But thank God we have like Reiki practitioners like myself and others out there, and the practice of qigong and tai chi, and Chinese medicine out there and such out there that can help people release these energy blockages and then help them connect with their divine selves, higher selves, or the Holy Spirit, whatever you prefer to call it, and help you move on and heal from these situations that's very hurtful and hurting yourself, because you're not hurting those that you have the anger towards, you're hurting yourself. We get so stuck in our head every day and thinking about the past and thinking about the future of what's going to happen if I experience this again. Then you're creating scenarios of trying to maneuver around certain things, like how am I going to approach this way, and then it starts making you angry, and then it just pulls you back into where you're like, damn, I'm like creating more scenarios, and then you're thinking about this stuff and then that, and then next thing you know, you're in your head for hours instead of being right here now in the present moment. And I said that's something that I struggle with every day, and it's not easy. So it is wholeheartedly my intentions to forgive those who've done me wrong in the past, because when I do counter these people, there is positive communication, and then you're thinking like, wait, what I thought was going to happen is not happening. You're stuck in a loop, like a cycle where, like for years, where you're thinking something's going to happen, but it doesn't. You're trying to prepare yourself for something that's never going to happen. So it's like it's very important to practice forgiving yourself for having negative thoughts towards people, because it's just going to affect you. Karma can affect you as well, despite what someone has done to you or a loved one. It can still come back onto you. So being present and with your heart and with that relationship with God, it can really help you a lot. Whatever your beliefs are that can help you, that it is helping you and keeping you grounded within yourself, it can definitely help a lot. Now, if you understand from God's perception of these people who hurt you, you understand that they were hurt too. They're dealing with you're dealing with PTSD, trauma. They were abused physically, verbally, emotionally, sexually. Will you take that time to think about that, and you're like, well, they didn't know how to handle that, so they end up projecting. These things happen and create these portals, which causes these entities that got attached to them from the people who abused them. The cycle is going. Those people who abuse them dealt with it as well. It just don't just happen. It's created by these entities. Everything happens in the spirit world first, then here in this physical world. So these entities attached to them now and pushing that cycle onto you or your children or who else. And I know it's a very sensitive topic because I'm mentioning children, and we don't want it to happen to our kids. Unfortunately, these things are happening every day. You never know. Any kid you see in the mall with their parents or whatnot, or whoever with their friends are dealing with certain things, or people don't realize what you had dealt with. No matter the smiles on your face or how popular you are and such, and these incredible things are going on in your life, people just don't know. You know, just like depression, people never know. Depression doesn't discriminate. It's like these entities don't discriminate no matter what you're doing in life for others. The great, incredible things you're doing for others, it doesn't mean it can't affect you as well. Nobody is perfect. This is why they say try to be patient with others, because you never know what they're dealing with. You never know someone who's smiling, seem happy, the life of the party, but next thing you know, they're gone because, trigger warning, they decided to take their life away. So it's something that we must try to be more mindful about with each other, and how we, talk to each other and communicate, ask someone they're okay. So as you're seeing these people through the eyes of God and then asking, you know, how can I help? Like, please help me understand the situation. Please help me understand all of this. You know, what were they going through? Help me understand from your eyes, from your heart, God. And you'll start to get some clarity on things. Even if you don't know the person, you're gonna get some information. You're gonna get that knowledge. And Gnosticism, they call it gnosis. So you're gonna receive that knowledge. Your crown chakra, your heart, your third eye, that intuition, that clear cognizant, the sixth sense out of the six senses. I'm sorry, is that clear signation? Like, correct me if I'm wrong. But yeah, like, you definitely will receive some information to help you understand. And as you're understanding and getting that information from Yahweh, your ego is being pushed aside so you can get it, because it's like, he's gonna be like, here, let me set your ego aside so you can understand from my eyes, because the ego needs to be surrendered. It does not need to be present when it comes to connecting to understand these situations, these kind of things that goes on with people, and so on and so forth. Even when you want to look within yourself, when it comes to shadow work, that ego has to be surrendered. It has to go out the door for a bit so you can be present with yourself. So that's something that you can practice, every day, is forgiving others and helping, have that relationship with God, helping you understand situations yourself through His eyes. Ask Him, please, Lord, help me see myself through your eyes. And you know, you're gonna see something that most people don't. Most people probably treat you like shit and look down on you and talk down on you, or treat you like Joseph and Book of Genesis, and which story of my life. But what you see from God's eyes is total opposite of what they see. And then you'll also understand that they are insecure because they actually see something incredible in you. People can see your potential before you most of the time. So that's something to understand. Keyword is understanding. When that crown chakra is open, there's so much understanding of yourself in all things because we're all connected. We're all one. So it's like when these people are hurting you, they're hurting themselves. They're projecting. So it's like, that's with that law of karma there. And so the crown chakra, it also helps you connect more better to Yahweh and Yeshua and the Holy Spirit, the Holy Trinity. And we're all like extinctions of God here in this physical world. Because we're souls in the body. So as souls are fragments of God. So that's technically what Yeshua mean by the Son, because not literally a son, but basically metaphoric for the extinction of God. So operating in this physical world. So we are operating in this physical world just like Yeshua, and giving knowledge just like him to those of us who, would they say, are anointed, or what many are saying these days, chosen ones. I like to say light beard because we're being a beard of light, and light is knowledge, and light represents, but like I said, it's knowledge. We're giving that light to each other. So it's just something that I want people to be aware of. And for the new subscribers, welcome. Thank you for subscribing. Welcome to Ancient Blood Alliance. Those of you who have already been subscribed, I appreciate you so much. Thank you so much for being here and sharing my videos as well, and also engaging in the comments. I really appreciate you guys so much. So take care and God bless, and enjoy this new moon.